In this video, I'm going to cover how to start an AI agency from scratch. So that's choosing the right niche, building offers that actually sell, creating systems and standard operating procedures to automate it, and growing this into a real business. So first, we're going to cover how do you pick an agency niche using AI. Next, how to build this repeatable 7-part content offer that you can easily deliver every month, kind of like a system. And then third, how to land simple clients and scale using agency pods, SOPs, and AI systems. Now, before we dive in, if you want your free launch plan, it's a free training. I help you pick your niche, build your entire content plan with AI so you can get started once and for all. Make sure to click the link in the description below and let's get into it. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover how to launch a faceless digital marketing agency using ChatGPT and Claude, sell repeatable content services to local businesses, easy clients, pretty much trying to figure out the easiest way to make money. No coding, no content creation or face require building a real business using AI and standard operating procedures, kind of like the franchise business model of online business. So what is this, first of all? Well, it's a faceless service business that sells done-for-you content services. You help real businesses with anything, any type of marketing service they need. That could be blog posts, emails, SEO, YouTube videos, whatever you might have a little bit of expertise in. And then we're powering this with ChatGPT and Claude, plus Google Docs, so you don't need a bunch of fancy tools. You build it once, you repeat the system across multiple clients. So we kind of tailor this to your personality, what you like doing, where you're located, the local businesses and small businesses you could help, and kind of create this full system. So think of it. What do you sell? Any type of marketing service. So things like blog posts, local SEO, email marketing, social media, YouTube scripts, lead magnets, website copy, all texted stuff. But different types of businesses need different types of marketing services, right? So what we're going after here is like small businesses that are doing over 500K a year. So think like medical, home services, real estate, legal, insurance. These are clients that have money to spend and they're not tiny. When I say small business, it's not really like the tiny pizza shop, plenty of which that I've worked at, that's barely scraping pie, right? We're talking about small business can be anywhere from 1 employee up to, 50 employees, still is a small business. So others include like beauty and wellness, auto, fitness, education, food events. Every niche has different content needs. Don't serve everyone, serve one type of business. So we're going to kind of go through this process of creating this service-based business with AI, creating a homepage copy, the services you're going to offer, all of it. So let's plan this with ChatGPT. So I have a master prompt here, and then it's going to kind of go through this whole process. So we're going to go through it right now. So, all right, so I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm going to select it all, and Command A, copy, paste to ChatGPT, and this is going to give us a full working business. So go step by step. Start with step 1. I'll ask you 2 questions, but you will narrow it down. So what local industries do you have experience in? So we're kind of narrowing this down. Like what type of businesses, what type of clients do I want that would actually pay me? So I'm going to say real estate. I love real estate, or figuring it out. I'll do that. Let's do real estate, actually. So you kind of put it gives you some ideas, and it can narrow it down. If you pick between 2, it'll help you pick 1. So then it'll kind of say, what do you feel most comfortable serving? I'm just going to say real estate agents. They have to do a lot of marketing for themselves, all kinds of stuff. It'll cover why real estate's good. They need fresh content, marketing updates, blog posts, YouTube videos, all kinds of things to get them more visibility. AI content helps them get ahead. Then it gives them a homepage. So it could say something like your automated marketing engine for real estate agents, consistent content, better leads, done for you, powered by AI. You don't have to put AI in there. I probably wouldn't put it in there. You just say done for you content. If you're a real estate agent who wants to stand out without doing this, blah, 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 I help agents build authority, attract buyers, 3 benefits of working with me, the 7 services that you offer, why choose us, call to action. So it writes the full homepage. It writes the full 7 service playbook. So like, what are the services that you offer? Great for who it's for. So it's giving you kind of 2 web pages here, service page. So it's going to go through a whole process. When we look at this, we're basically feeding it in. So it's doing niche discovery. It's going to say, write a homepage. And you can create a document like this yourself. Like write a homepage, write a hero headline, intro paragraph, 7 named services. Then it's creating the 7 service playbook. Any agencies has services, right? They have different services. Any service business has multiple services that they offer. So it'll write the service page, and then it'll create a long-term plan. So who you work with, here's the 7 services. Here's the monthly packages and the pricing for each one. And then how can I get this into more passive income? So that's building programmatic SEO and affiliate content. So then it's like, here's all the blog posts you would add to this website. specific to an individual city. So this is a little bit more targeted SEO based on different articles that you could write to get traffic to this site. Simple monetization plan. It goes through a whole thing. So ultimately, you can help kind of figure out your niche with AI. It's like, hey, I have some experience in this niche. What is a local agency that I could run? So we want to have some type of services. Now, you can start with a stock of services. Like I do blog posts, SEO, social, email. It's mostly when we're thinking of AI-based services, it's things that AI can do for us, where they can do 80% of the work. Once we get it into a standard operating procedure, the stuff can write itself. So it's going to be text-based content and also potentially video. You charge a fair rate per client as well. But think about the deliveries, so deliverables. So for example, a realtor could need things that are totally different than like a law firm or a gym, things like that. So a realtor would need property brochures, flyers, postcards, social media, video content, email newsletters, different lead magnets and things like that. Whereas a law firm could use simple PPC. So you have to kind of really think about what are the 3 to 5 services you want to offer to that type of business, one that you're comfortable with. And that's just talking now, having conversations and stuff, coming up with 3 to 5 services, putting it on a website. So really step 1 is brainstorming. And brainstorming can take a week, could take 2 weeks. You're coming up with your agency niche, the services that you offer. You have a homepage and a service page. You can create a website on card in like an afternoon. So that's the first thing is actually brainstorming. That's coming up with your service offerings, pricing, packaging, all of that. It's pretty fun to figure it out, ChatGPT or Claude. So it's pretty easy to do. Next, we get into actually running the business. So that's landing clients with AI-assisted outreach. So kind of automating your outreach using one-pagers, using sales pitch decks and things that are created. So again, we're creating, an agency that can make money, and AI helps us where we might have used to need like 3 people or 4 people to do this. We can do it all ourselves. So if I look at this, for example, you can create a sales pitch deck with something as simple as a prompt. So you say, give me a sales pitch deck that I would use to sell to these realtors. Give me it to be 9 slides and have it look like this. So then this is a broad generalized example, but it's the slide on its cover. Slide 2, 3, 4, the services you offer, what you get, pricing, and let's chat. So very simple, you can turn this into slides. Another thing is going through a lead sourcing checklist. So then it's a very standard operating procedure. Follow a checklist-based type of business. Build an initial local business list. Go to Google Maps, search for that niche. Go to Yelp, LinkedIn, Facebook. Find these people. Check for existing content. Check the social media presence. Find the owner. Prioritize your targets. And then here's some different cold email outreach templates to use, right? The value, focus, cold pitch, lows, right? So you don't have to, I came across your business. I see you don't have content plan yet. I see you don't have social media. I see this, I see that. You need any help with any of these services. Friendly follow-ups along the way. So again, we're sending outreach this is kind of, the way to make money online is until we have passive income assets growing over time, we're getting inbound traffic. We have to do outbound outreach in order to make sales. No one's going to really find us at first. So to do that, though, we just follow a simple checklist with AI-assisted outreach and, using a CRM or something really simple to find people. And again, I think when you're first starting, getting the first client is the hardest part. So that could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be someone you know, it could just be getting a testimonial and doing practice. I think it's actually a good thing in this case the first client's always kind of the hardest because you're doing some of this work. We're using AI to come up with content. There's certain ways to do it, right? We're creating a operating procedure for it, but practice it on a friend, family member. Like you can do it for free. Then you're in a testimonial, then you actually feel confident in your system. So we have to create the homepage service pages. That's basically a strong headline, a sub-headline, deliverables, bonuses, FAQ, what do you get? And then we can automate. So then it's like, what is the actual work? What are we actually doing? Well, it's actually quite simple. We're creating content. We're using AI to help us, and we're editing it ourselves. We're trying to get it efficient and fast. So really when I think about SOPs, standard operating procedures, it's kind of like when you think of a franchise like McDonald's, they make a burger the same way every single time because there's a formula, there's a checklist. And an agency can have the exact same thing written in something as simple as a Google Doc to follow down the checklist. So for example, in a doc, you could have a service playbook for all your different services. You could have blog content. Step 1, choose this topic. Enter this prompt into ChatGPT. Choose keywords with local modifiers. Generate a first draft. Humanize and improve the writing. Rephrase, add relevant client examples. all of this light SEO polish. Here's how to format the URL. Here's how to format the H1, the subheadings, the meta description, image, alt text, deliver in this format. Okay, that's very simple. What about email? Define the monthly strategy, set the cadence, plan the email flow, download this, do strategy to draft a certain email, Q&As and enhance the email, test the subject lines, format and deliver. So it's, again, social media, you go down the list, website copy, local SEO pages. That's a big one for local businesses. They basically just need Google My Business support, and then they need some local service pages so they can rank for city-specific keywords. Pick these types of keywords, generated draft ChatGPT, write a 900-word SEO page for this niche in this city targeting this keyword. Do all these things. Human edit. Here's how to add the URL, H1, H2 headings, internal links, how to do everything, schema content. And then optimize for GEO. So include clear answers to common questions, add a few more, add a featured image, clean and deliver. So you could send this to any junior level content person. The goal here would be to get like 5 clients under your belt and then hire a junior person to do the actual content work for you, because then you're kind of managing business. That's actually what I did when I first started my blog. I was running it almost as an agency. So I ended up hiring a single assistant and then 1 writer. So I didn't have to write everything myself. I didn't have to do all this outreach myself. And I was kind of running a mini agency at the same time. So we want to elevate ourselves above the business. The first client is the hardest. Setting this thing up, truly brainstorming it, creating operating procedures for yourself like this, where anyone can do this, right? Anyone can run through this process and do it. So the whole goal is that you don't have to do it forever. So the first client is always the hardest to get. Creating the actual procedures are here. This is within my community launched 10K. But you can see every single service can have an actual standard operated procedure like YouTube script writing. Pick the topic, write the powerful hook. So, and you can create the ChatGPT. Like, let's say you really want to help real estate agents. Your service is $1,000 a month. It's more automated. And then you're like, we're going to create these types of brochure content. And then, you can automate that quite a bit and get it down to a science where you have a standard operated procedure for it. So the service that you're doing is creating marketing assets with standard operating procedures. Not the most exciting topic, but it's things that people will pay for in your local community. So we automate that. And then again, we look at a monthly workflow. So what do we do every month? Well, we onboard the client. They sign up. They say they're interested in your services. We talk to them. We have a strategy discussion. Then we could give them the content drafts. They have opportunity to revise and review and deliver and report at week 4. So every month they're getting a certain amount of content. We want to charge recurring every single month so that they don't just do a one-time thing. Now, a lot of people, we have some students that are doing like website building. They want to build a website for a client. Well, that is more of a one-time project, and that's totally cool to charge for once. But again, marketing services, things like content, blog posts, SEO, email, YouTube, it's all ongoing stuff. So you want to charge a monthly retainer. But again, it's setting it up once. The ideal scenario is you would have 5 clients. You would have 1 junior person doing all the grunt work stuff. You'd be talking to these clients once a month and just kind of overviewing the deliverables and getting new clients. That's the dream of being the agency owner. That's what everybody wants to get to. The hard barriers to that are choosing a niche, getting all of this stuff in your operating procedures and your documents ready, and then actually the hard part, getting the actual clients. So getting out there and landing a few clients. That's why I say again, choose a friend, choose a family member, help somebody for free. Say, hey, how much would you charge for this? And then put it out in the world, do outreach, get some clients under your belt. And then over time, it'll just get easier and easier. So the good thing about the agency business model is, unlike YouTube or blogging or content creation, scaling is a much easier thing. More clients, more employees, more revenue. So you start by doing everything yourself. All the content, the client management, the delivery. This is where most people quit. They just don't want to do all of that. But as you grow, you hire by pod. So let's say there's 1 content specialist per 5 clients. So 1 content specialist can do work for 5 clients. And then maybe 1 client manager for every 10 clients. That's the day-to-day or the, kind of the strategy person, the customer success person. And that's just going to be you for the most part. So each pod operates with clear standard operating procedures, repeatable systems. This keeps margins high and delivery quality consistent, and you want to maintain 70% profit margin. So let's say that you have 5 clients paying you $2,000 a month. That's $10,000 a month. who's going to do all the work? Well, you at first, and that could be a lot of work. So then what do? You hire a junior specialist. Maybe you pay them $3,000 a month. Now instead of making 10, you make 7. You keep 7, but you get away from all the work, and you just you oversee things. That's 70% profit margins. You're making 7 out of 10, and you have a person working for you. Theoretically, you can then take that math and get to 10, 15, 20 clients. The numbers will eventually break until you increase pricing, increase value, and you start creating a more replicable system where it's more like I'm not just running a digital marketing agency that does everything, but I'm doing a very highly specific thing for a specific use case, right? I'm creating marketing services for realtors, or I'm editing YouTube shorts, doing the captions, editing and uploading. That's a specific service I do. Right, so the more specific your service becomes over time, the more you can charge, the less clients you need. So mostly, a lot of people are doing things that are like $6,000 a month, per client. Well, then you only need 5, and that's really substantial revenue. So it's really about scaling. Scaling is a simple math equation based on knowing that a certain junior level content specialist can help a certain number of clients, and then what is your pricing? So the math starts to there's other companies that do, it's almost like the merging of software and agency. So you'll see like content, right? Content services. You can get 10 articles a month for $500. And it's almost like you're checking out like a software tool, like you're checking out, like you're buying software. And that works as a full system. It's almost the blending of software and agency work. So you either go, on one hand, you go higher ticket, right, to make more money, charge $5,000 a month instead of 1 or 2 to higher end clients. There's a lot of people ask, who the hell is going to pay that? You just have to find the right people that will. Businesses that make money will. Businesses that don't make money or people that are struggling will not. So there's plenty of businesses paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month for this type of stuff. So ultimately, when we think about it, to scale, you do it in pods, you do it, with a system in place. You either want to go higher ticket and pricing, or you systematize it and almost turn it into a software where you're charging hundreds of dollars, but people can check out and do self-service that way. So again, when we start, very simple, use ChatGPT or Claude or both, Google Docs, Notion and Google Sheets, track everything, Canva optionally with design polish, featured images, YouTube thumbnails and things like that. So again, you want to scale with minimal clients. You start with 1 or 2, you build proof, you stack referrals, you slowly raise prices, you scale up from there. You focus on systems. You're working smarter, not harder. So here's what you can do to get started. You want to pick a niche using ChatGPT to help local businesses do services. You build a 7 or 5 or 3, it just depends, service content stack. You land clients with one-pagers and outreach. You deliver with AI and standard operating procedures, and you rinse and repeat. It's a more scalable type of business. So if you want your free launch plan, you can join the weekly to master an AI agency plus bonus programs on things like blogging, YouTube, content work, all of that. Make sure to click the link in the description below. It's not the most exciting topic, talking about standard operating procedures and content systems and all of that, but it is an option out there if you're looking for revenue a little bit faster than like blogging or YouTube or things like that. So a lot of people are interested in it. So I want to be able to provide that. And again, if you sign up in Launch and 10K, we have all of the documents and templates for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.